Welcome back. Today I want to talk about increasing our chi, increasing our available energy. I think that probably sounds good to all of us. And so I want to come at it from two sides. I want to come at it from how can I receive more energy from the universe? And also, how can I do this psychologically by unpacking all the junk inside of my brain that I just don't need? There's a certain amount of baggage that we all carry around and we don't need to. And if you can let that go, you're going to notice that your energy, your overall energy in your entire life increases every single time you let something go. So let's get into it. The first one is a very simple exercise, and that's why I love it. It's so elegant, it's so simple, and yet it is so deep and potentially extremely profound. And that is the ha breath that the kahuna would use, but they used it in a very, very specific way. So first of all is the ha breath, right? So I'm going to breathe in, breathe out. With the sound of ha. So you go to Hawaii, what do they say to you? Aloha. The ha is the breath. They are greeting you with their breath. It's a love and a greeting with the breath. That is the true meaning of aloha. And so we're doing that, right? And as we make that long out breath, we're following the rule of heart rate variability resonant breathing of always making the out breath longer, aren't we? So we breathe in. So by doing this breath of a shorter in-breath and a long ha out breath, we are training ourselves again in heart rate variability resonance, creating that coherence between the breath and the heart. So it's really powerful in this regard, isn't it? And now we're going to make it even more powerful because we want to go out in the sun. And we want to have the morning sun, if we can, if it's warm enough, go out in your morning sun and open up your palms like this so that you are receiving the sun on your face, on your chest, on your hands, on your arms, and breathe in and receive the sun with that ha. We breathe in, receive the mana of the sun, the energy of the sun. We're receiving it in by collecting it with our hands, with the ha breath. Try that out every morning in the sun if you can. And just feel that with each ha breath, that energy of the sun is entering into you and collecting into your body, into your bones, into your psyche, into all of you, into your heart, everything. It's just collecting and collecting and collecting. And they would do this every morning. Now, if you're not able to go out in the sun, direct yourself towards the sun and imagine that you are doing the same thing. You're in the sun and the sun is just filling you up as you practice just a little bit of this ha breath. Do it for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you can, whatever feels comfortable to you. So first of all, that is creating heart rate variability resonance. It's training our breath. We're going to do it through the mouth with the sound of ha. But eventually, when we become so comfortable with the process, we can drop the outward ha breath and just do the long breathing through the nose. That's just fine. But in the beginning, we want to use the ha breath. We really want to get into the rhythm of this, and we want to hear it and feel it. And the kahuna will imagine that the light of the sun is coming down on them, and with the ha breath, it's beginning to fall on them. The mana is falling on them like droplets of rain. And you might actually feel that in your hands, in your arms, in your face, in your chest, in your whole body eventually. You may feel this light rain of mana falling down on top of you. And what you want to do is hold your hands like a bowl and collect all of that rain of mana that is falling on top of you. So we're training ourselves in heart rate variability resonance, but also in a proper attitude towards the whole universe. We are receiving the gift of heaven, and we want to hold it. We want to collect as much as we can every single morning, and that will set your whole mind and intention in the correct way. And you'll find, if you do this every day, that your energy notches up. Now, the second part I promised, we want to get rid of any kind of baggage that we're holding on. So first of all, we have to become aware of the baggage that we are holding on. Maybe we are acutely aware already. That's great. If you're not, get yourself a little pad, and every single time you have a worry, you have a concern, you have an old grievance, write it down. Write it down and start making a list. Oh my goodness, I'm carrying this worry around. Oh my goodness, I almost always have this worry. Oh my goodness, I always have this grievance of what happened to me in the past. All of those old traumas, all of those old negative emotions, all of those old grievances we're holding on to. A lot of times we will hold on to something because we want other people to know, look what you did to me. I want you to understand what you did. It was not right. It hurt me and I am hurt. Look, do you see me? But eventually we have to figure out what is better for our own soul. What is better for our own energy? Do we really want to hold on to those things forever to show how hurt we are? Or would it be better for us to go ahead and let those things go now? So make your list and start chewing away at those negative emotions and limiting decisions. I have videos on how to do timeline therapy on this channel. Check those out and start eating away one by one into those old pieces of baggage that you have been carrying around for years and years. Tad would say, and I have seen it over and over again, Tad James taught me timeline therapy. He said, when we release a negative emotion or a limiting decision, it is exactly like getting off of a drug. Now, some of those drugs will be stimulants, and they'll make us overly active, overly tense, overly revved up in the sympathetic system. And those are usually anger or frustration, all of those sympathetic emotions. And so we'll come off of those like coming off of speed, right? And oh man, we'll just be 10 notches more relaxed after we get rid of one of those negative emotions. Other emotions will be a depressant. So sadness, depression, fear, anxiety, these are usually more depressive. And when you get off of them, a whole release of energy will start flowing through the system. I remember one healer would talk about these as if they were open contracts that we had not closed, things that we had not resolved, and so they were open and they were just draining us down. Another way we could think about it is, what if you had 1,000 AI bots at your disposal, artificial intelligence bots, ready to go out and do your bidding. I want you to go out and find out about this. I want you to go out and find out about that. You had 1,000 of those, and every day they were out doing everything. And so they're all very busy, right? And so all of that busyness uses up the capacity of your AI bots, doesn't it? But if you could put those on pause, they would come back and all that energy would be returned to you. That's what you're doing with your subconscious. When you have an old trauma, when you have an old negative emotion, all these things sit unresolved in the subconscious, and the subconscious is continuously sending out pieces of itself to solve those riddles that we have not solved. The negative emotions and the limiting decisions that we're holding on to are nestled under the sea of our own subconscious, and they're using up our energy. And if we can dissolve them one by one, write them down, do timeline therapy with them, do the Huna exercises, that video, Huna Short and Sweet. Do those exercises with one of those old grievances, with one of those old negative emotions, and see what happens when you resolve it to a certain level and that energy comes back to you, because the part of your subconscious is not out there running around in the universe trying to figure it out. It comes home, and you collect all that energy. And you're going to see that your own energy notches up bit by bit as you begin to bring these pieces of yourself back home. It's really magical. And this is how we become whole. This is why we have these words about becoming whole again. We're not divided out into a million pieces, worrying about a million things that we can't possibly solve. We bring it all home and we become whole again. So try these two things out. Number one, go out and collect the mana of the sun through the ha breath. Bring it into yourself and notice every day how your energy just ratchets up a little bit each time. And then write down those old things, those old subconscious riddles. Write them down one by one and eat away at them until they're gone. And notice how all that energy returns to you, returns to your mind. You get more clear, returns to your body. You get more energy. You feel full again because you're becoming whole again. So I wish all of the eternal chi to return back home to you, and I hope that you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you next time.